Hello, all you wonderful people out there. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am the Bayou Gold Guy, and today we are celebrating 4th of July. And we're going to have some fun with another bag of Gold Bay, some special rare wire gold from California. And thought we'd have a little glitter, a little sparkle for the 4th of July. So we had the big bang off of the 3 grams. So now we're going to have the sparkle. So without further ado, if you'll join me in the new gold epicenter of Louisiana, this table, we shall begin. You may notice we dressed up the gold station a bit. It's just been processing so much gold, it was literally wearing the top out. So I had to step up and dress it up a bit. So threw in a little whatever you call that, not advertising, but anyway, the name. I got my name on there. So our Gold Bay came in the usual bubble wrap bag. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell from this or not, but this is the red clay dirt that I've never dealt with. They used to put it in most of their pay dirts. From what I understand, it was the common, that was the base for it. And people would really had problems with it being so messy and getting all over their stuff and all this. So they were real happy whenever Gold Bay changed over to the pay dirt that they're using now for their basic concentrate. But you can see that has got a lot of little chunks in it. This is going to have to be dissolved down good. And of course it comes in the Mylar bag. Gold Bay bag doesn't have labels on it anymore for some reason, but I got it. I got my my invoice on it. Again, actually, they're not even offering the magazine subscription anymore, which I never got a card for that. No more Gold Bay sticker. I was hoping to get another Gold Bay sticker, so only in my first order did I get that, and this is my third order. But this one was $99.95 for this bag, and $8.95 shipping, so it came to a total of $108.90. But of course, I don't count shipping on my ROIs because that's just the cost of doing business, and every one of them's different. So I just want an accurate amount for the gold that I'm paying for and what my ROI is on the gold. So this is going to be a very fun and challenging pay dirt, especially, like I said, for me. I've never messed with this stuff before, so I'm expecting to make a big mess. And hopefully this is a 1 gram guarantee on this wire gold. You can add to the bag. For $89 additional, you could add another gram, and I was planning on doing that, but I've had so much trouble getting through the Gold Bay website that when it finally came through and accepted the order, I just went ahead and pushed it through and forgot all about adding the extra gram on. So yeah, you can add more, and it gets cheaper. If you add like 2 grams more, it's like $175 and on up. But so we'll just be happy with the 1 gram to start off, and it just 1 gram of stuff just doesn't ever look like really that much. And this is going to be super fine wire gold. And I'd seen on Dave, one of Dave's videos, and so he was taking questions, and they asked him what's the best way to do this wire gold, and his answer was very slowly. So that's what this is going to be. I'll be. You can see there's never seen any gold in the Gold Bay dirt bags through the bag, but you wouldn't see it in this stuff. But you can see there's a chunk of stick there. I'm sure this is going to be super organic. So I'm really excited to see it. So let me get set up, and we will continue from there. Well, all right, we're set up here. I've got the Garrett Super Sluice. Hit it with some Jet Dry. I think we're going to be needing all the water we can get on this one. We got Dingy Doris ready to go. Actually, hot Doris now, since she's had her facelift. And as we've learned from every treasure hunt movie, X always marks the spot. So there's where we're going to be looking for our gold payoff. So like I said, I'm really kind of at a loss as to how I should proceed on this this red clay dirt, I know it needs to be, I know it needs to be broken down, but yeah, man, that's just a ton of just, I guess the thing to do would be to put it in the garret, run it through the garret where it'll be deep enough to soak it all up. But use the kitchen strainer there, and like I said, I've never dealt with this kind of stuff before, so this is totally new to me. And there you can see it instantly. Oh man, that is the nightmare red clay right there. I'd see videos of people talking about running it through their sluices and their equipment just being covered with red clay for a long time, trying to get it all cleaned off. So I guess that's what we're going to do here. Give it a chance to soak in, and oh yeah, man, you can just feel the it's like sticking your hand in mud pies. And maybe you have to be careful about touching my lenses here. Like that right there, I guess that's a I'm not sure what that is, if that's a hard dirt clod but yes, look at that. That is yeah, that's not something I've messed with before. So I guess the thing really to do would be to let this soak and break down. And that's some of those. I know I wasn't sure if it would have the same kind of rocks that GOLDBAY usually has with those filler rocks. Maybe that's what, I don't know. Oh, there it is. See, that's that piece I was holding up before. It is crumbling. It's full of it's got something in it that's gonna need to be dissolved. So now I've got this real fine stuff here. That's good. Man, that is wild. But yeah, that's actually that's a bit smaller than and less than most of the GOLDBAY filler stuff that comes in the other bags. So like I said, this stuff was $99, $99.95, $100 for this, with a 1 gram minimum guarantee. But this wire gold is a premium gold, and I know its value fluctuates for what. Yeah, that stuff's crumbling away nicely there. So, but yeah, it's worth more than the spot price of gold on the day. So, and the day I bought this stuff, gold was still at, what was it, 1864, 1865 an ounce. Almost $60 a gram. So yeah, that was already paying a basically a $40 premium. But I just really wanted to check it out. I've been wanting to get some of his crystal gold, and he discontinued it before I ever was able to order any. Just because I think it was like a 3 gram bag, and I just started panning, and I wasn't buying. I was working my way up to that kind of stuff. So at any rate, all right, well, there we've got, that is our GOLDBAY piece. And like I said, this gold, I don't expect to see anything in this stuff, but there we have it. So I'm going to pause this, clean up a little bit, and see what I need to do. Okay, I think I've got a strategy here. I went through the big stuff because I knew there was nothing in that, and there wasn't. So I've got it over here in my secondary holding red water. Here's my pan with all my concentrate. I got this is my old retired flag, but I broke her out for the 4th of July just to put her to a little more use. I got my new flag flying out front, so, but she still deserves a little fly time. So it's a little breezy today. We got storms coming and going, and hopefully they're not going to come while we're doing this. But at any rate, so I'm going to take this and rinse it down into one pan so I can still use my Garrett. Because like I said, this stuff is going to be, look how it just rolls out of there like when you're doing mud pies or something. That clay slides off rolls off in chunks. Look at that coming out. That is pretty wild. Like I said, this is a whole different animal for me, and I expect it's going to be pretty fun. But I'm going to take this stuff down at a tablespoon at a time. Just like Dave said, do it slow, and I should be holding my pan the right way to rinse this out. So, all right. Anyway, that's what we're going to go with, is reload the Garrett with water. Have our slurry here to spoon out, and then work between that and Doris and try to get some gold out of this. So I'll be back. All right, I think we're set up here. I'm going to start with, like I said, a couple of spoonfuls of this out of slurry. And see how it works. I'm like I said, I'm a little anxious on how this is gonna pan out and how hard it's gonna be to separate that. Oh, look there, you can already see little bits of string gold showing up in the back of the pan right there. Just pouring off. See that stuff sticking right there showing up? That's our fine little pieces of string gold. That's old Glory's getting in on the action. Hold on, let me adjust my camera so we're not catching her fringes. Poor thing, man. She flew for 4 years hard. I just finally had to take her down and put her big brother up. So yeah, I guess I could have wet classified it through the strainer with this small gold. That may be the thing to do. Like I said, I've never panned this, so I'm not sure how this material is going to want to move as far as that clay clinging to the gold, wanting to carry it out with it, or if it's going to. Let's see, my riffles seem to be doing the job. So yeah, this was sold as a 1.5 pound bag of dirt. But you saw it when it came in. It was easily 2 pounds. I never weighed it, but I mean, I could just tell from the weight from their 3 pound bags I've gotten from them. But yeah, GOLDBAY is the only company I've seen that offers the wire gold. Let's hit it with some clean water and see what it looks like here. I know they say this stuff's best looked at through a loupe or a magnification, so I'm sure it's not gonna look too impressive until I get done with all of it and have it under the zoom in on the camera at the end. But hopefully we'll get an idea of what we've. Yeah, those little rocks kind of get in the way. I may do that. I may go back through and wet classify this stuff. But that's what we're looking for right there. There's a little piece that's gotten away from me, but that's. Let me see. Can I get a zoom in on it here? Yeah, that's it. Those are those fine little pieces of wire gold. So, all right, I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and I may classify it before I start the next round. So let's get back to where it's supposed to be here, and I'll be back. All right. Well, yeah, I've decided I'm gonna wet classify this stuff down to try to get those little pebbles out of there, because there was some really fine fine gold tangled up in there with it, and I think this will help to get some of it out. If I can. So that's what we're going to do there. And the most important thing about this stuff, I think, is to keep that jet dry. Keep a bunch of that jet dry in the water. So yeah, there we go. That's some pretty fine stuff to be trying to get that gold out of with. So I think that'll help the cause. And a little piece of fern in there. That's all right. So I'm just going to show that's wet classifying this stuff. Well, all right, I'm classified down. I've got my kitchen strainer plus kitchen strainer size there, the minus there slurry, and then our first pan of classified. And yeah, look at that. I mean, it just looks like it's just smooth and slick. And I'm already getting the idea of what these guys were talking about. I mean, there's I rinsed off the top of the table here, but there is already red clay dirt on everything. So it's all going to have to be definitely scrubbed down the back of the wall in the house here. It's stuff's a mess. So I hope everyone's having a very safe and sane 4th of July. Do they still have that on fireworks, where they used to always have be safe and sane? Which, you know, as kids growing up with them, we'd be laughing at that. That's where firing rockets and Roman candles and bottle rockets at each other. But it is a scorcher here in South Louisiana today. When the sun comes out, like right now, the clouds have moved back in, and it's a little bit of breeze, birds singing. It's very pleasant. And then that sun comes out, and within 5 minutes, it's steaming up. So I'm like I said, we've got storms supposed to be popping up throughout the day. The crappy town we live in canceled fireworks show last night again for the 2nd year, which is pretty pathetic. The next little town over, they're doing theirs just like they've always done, but I don't know. This is the same town that they put in effect a curfew during the Wuhan crap, and only town around here had a 10 o'clock curfew, even though there were hundreds of people moving between this town and others to get home and to get to work. But that's what happens when you get these scumbag politicians that get a little taste of power for the first time ever. And now we're seeing that played out on a scale that's before unheard of in this country. And this is actually kind of a somber 4th of July, I think, for this nation. But we still celebrate our history. We don't celebrate our present. But hopefully by remembering that history, we can resolve our present. But at any rate, I hope everyone's having a wonderful 4th of July. I was going to do this yesterday, so I'd have it done for sure on 4th of July. But again, I'm kind of a traditionalist guy, I mean, I think you should celebrate, do fireworks on the 4th of July. You should trick or treat on Halloween, you know, things like that. This whole let's change the date so it fits everybody's ability to, you know, like here they want to have the weekend festival so they can get a bunch of money out of people. Doesn't matter about the fireworks or what we're honoring or celebrating, but there you have it. That's another. That showed up a little bit easier with that stuff classified out for sure. But yeah, man, that is some tiny, tiny, tiny gold. So, all right, this is like I said, one of the reasons I wanted to get this is because I had so much fun with Miners Depot and their super fine gold, trying to get that stuff out, the challenge. So, and this is just that cool collector gold. So, all right, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Like I said, just doing this tablespoon at a time. All right, we're down to the next tablespoon bottom. I have a feeling that the majority of the gold's probably going to come from the bottom of the pan as this stuff settles into the. Because yeah, see, there's just a couple of little flakes there that I took off the top. And then a few more coming around the side there. But yeah, Dave was exactly right. That's the only way to do this stuff is real slow and deliberate and watching. Because right there, like I said, there's some little, I mean, just slivers like you'd consider to be micro gold, but in wire fashion. Hence the name, I guess. So, all right, well, that's I'm gonna. See, there's more every time you swing it around. Once you get that little line showing, you expose a little bit more. So, all right. I don't know that I'll stop every pan. I may go through a few here and get it together. So, because this is gonna be a while. I still have all that to do. I'm only doing it, like I said, a tablespoon at a time. So, some 4th of July fun. This is you get your money's worth on this dirt as far as on panning time and challenge. So there's a nice big string piece right there, super thin. But all right, we're down to another pan. Actually, this is the end of 3 scoops that I just worked. I don't usually do that. I usually check each scoop out, you know, what I get at the bottom, but I've been adding to this one because this gold seems to hold pretty good on the bottom of the pan. That's where a well-seasoned pan is essential, is on this kind of stuff, because this one, I mean, when I started out with it, I used steel wool, and not like SOS pad. I'm talking about steel wool, like the chore boys that have the coarse stainless steel, big scouring pad, and that really left some you know, scraped down real good and left some really good fine lines. And of course, I've gone through quite a bit of dirt, so it's gotten some natural rock scratches in it too. But yeah, that thicker scouring pad did a real good job putting in a bunch of small scours in it, lines that gave it a chance to really grip that small gold. And this wire gold seems to be holding pretty well to the bottom of the pan when you get it down there. So I was gonna see how it worked out. I don't think I've lost any by adding to it. I see people do that all the time. I just like to see what I get at the end instead of each pan, instead of going letting it compound and then having it all at the very end. But plus, I don't like the risk of losing my gold. But yeah, you see some black sand that gets down to the very bottom of this, but of course couldn't do any magnetic test on it. But let's see. Of course, I've got jet dry added to my bottle as well. A lot of jet dry on everything. Maybe the soap will help clean up all this red clay. It is a freaking mess. I could see where people would have had issues if this was what you had to deal with every time you got some GOLDBAY dirt. Was the mass of red clay. Yeah, that's a little prettier display there, doing 3 scoops. And But that's the other challenge too, is just seeing this stuff in the, there's no rinsing down. Changing water does not help because it turns back to turns back to red immediately. But yeah, that's a nice little a nicer little pile to see at the end of that super fine wire gold. I mean, it is tiny stuff. So this is definitely a challenging material to get out. And like I say, you just blind suck in there because you can't see once you get enough water to suck it up, it covers up the gold. So, but all right, yeah, I like that, doing 3 scoops and getting down to the bottom and having a little bit more a little better display at the. See, I missed that one because it's I can't see it. So, and then even like that, okay, it looks like it's good. I'll go back through that for another 5 minutes and find 4 or 5 or 6 more little tiny pieces that'll pop up like those at the top there. That'll pop up out of that sand. So, just to repeat, Dave, you do this stuff slow. What's the trick on doing this? Do it slow. So that's what I'm doing. Be back. All right, we're down to the bottom of another. I think this is 4 scoops worth. It's concentrated down here. So this ought to be pretty. Let's see what she looks like. Even after all that panning and washing, you add fresh water to it, it turns red immediately. That's just wild. Oh, there we go. Yeah. See how that, even with that wash over like that, it holds pretty good. So that's it. Another nice little cluster of gold for us to add to our big red bottle. Alright, we'll go back through that a little more. But yeah, that's all I'm doing is that much at a time, one tablespoon, and then working it down. And I probably got, I don't know, 3 or 4 left, and then still have our other stuff. There's a few little pieces mixed in with that, but I don't expect too much. But yeah, this stuff, after sitting in the pan like that, it clumps back up, and you have to dissolve it back into that slurry. And that's it. So it's fun. I tell you, it takes a while. It's definitely some of the most challenging stuff that I've encountered. And then you add to it the inability to see it and the messiness. And yeah, it's a real experience. Well, all right, we're at the bottom of the last of all of our less than kitchen strainer size. It's concentrated down to this last little bit here. It was about 4 or 5 scoops worth. Literally, I had to take the pan, pour water in, and scrub the clay out of the bottom of it where it had been sitting there. And even as I'm rinsing out the very last of it out of the creases there, little strings of gold are flowing through it. So it had gold all in it, stuck to the bottom of the pan. You just gotta scrub this stuff out like nothing I've ever dealt with before. It's definitely definitely a different animal. So all right, we're down to. Whoop, there's some big ones starting to go off. Another jacked thing about our town, they've started last year when they canceled fireworks in the city, but they passed a thing where you could, literally a quarter mile from my house, a fireworks stand, three fireworks stands set up in town, but you're not allowed to shoot fireworks off in town. It's always been you had to go to get out of the city limits to the parish limits to well, I guess the city limits were all in the parish, but like the county, I guess, is the equivalent. But But yeah, so you can buy them here in town, but then the police come after you when they catch you shooting them off in your yard. So I don't know, more that logic. But yeah, it was they were going crazy with them last year all over. Some of those big mortars. There's another one. So all right, well there's still a bunch of little bits like that popping up. That's the thing though, man, this gold, it really shows up whenever you know, it presents itself. once you get the water off of it, you can see it sparkling, shining through. So, and the raindrops are starting to trickle down here and there. So, because I am not totally confident that, yeah, look at that. There's a bunch more there on that side. That usually I'm pretty confident in my thoroughness when I'm panning this stuff out. I very rarely have more than a little micro piece left that I've missed. But with this stuff, I'm going to be meticulously going back through all this stuff again. And I'm sure it'll be just as hard to see. Look at all that. It still keeps those little pieces keep popping up. But you're just shooting in the dark for it when you try to suck it up. Like, see, those are little rocks there. And that's the real challenge of this, is just, like I said, not being able to see it. Once you get that 1/4 inch, 1/16 to 1/4 inch of water over it, that shit disappears. And then there it is, shows back up in the bottom. So not just like that, another few little flakes going. As you can see, I got enough jet dry that I'm actually getting some bubbles in this batch. But better safe than sorry. I mean, compared to the red water, I don't think the bubbles are interfering too much in this. So, all right, well, that's it. I'm going to clean this up and then go to the Plus Kitchen strainer size and see if we caught anything in that got through. All right, I'm down to my above strainer size classification, and you can see, let's see, it's even after running through water a bunch of times, it's still pretty dirty, but it's not as bad as the silt. So we'll go ahead and film this one and see what it looks like. But first thing you do is stratify it real good to make sure you separate that gold. You pour off your excess, and then you let the water carry the particles, the pay dirt out, and the gold gets trapped around this little ring in the bottom here. And you can step closer. I have my neighbors here checking out. She heard me doing this out here and wondered what I was doing, so I'm showing her a little bit of not the best part, because this is the end where there's probably not much gold in this to show her, but she's just seeing see how it rolls that stuff off the top. And then you go back through and you shake it like that to make sure you keep your gold, because the gold's so much heavier, it wants to stay to the bottom of the pan. And you just work it that way. And this stuff is a lot easier to do this size than it was that stuff, the fine stuff that took a long time to, well, you know how long I've been out here doing this, and that's what I've been doing. So yeah. But we're getting down to the bottom here. And then once you get it down to where you've got just enough stuff that you can see, you'll swirl your pan around and see what gold you got in there. And like I said, hopefully we'll have a little something in here that made it through. All right, I think that's good enough. And then you got these little squirt bottles. You put jet dry in everything in all your water, because your gold will want to float. Okay. So that keeps your gold, especially these small pieces, from wanting to float away. And then you just take it and you wash it around like that. And there you see right there. See those little pieces of gold? Oh, those flakes of gold. And I can see that without my glasses. Yeah, those are flakes of gold. So that's what was in our plus size. Okay, to zoom in on it, some nice little flakes there. So we'll suck that up with our snuffer bottle. See, it just gets the gold and leaves the rocks. And then, and see, there's another little piece right there. 2 more pieces that I missed.
Wow.
That you've got to.
They're kind of bright, aren't they?
Oh yeah, it shows up. That's what they say. Diamonds sparkle and gold shines, and
they not lying.
So if you get something that's sparkling, usually in your pan, that's the pyrite or the fool's gold or the mica or something like that. Your gold will always be shiny. So that's
pretty cool.
That's it. So, and there's another piece right there that I missed. That's a little flake. See how it stands out?
Yeah.
So whenever, so like I said, and this stuff's, this is the easy stuff to see. That other stuff, whenever that red water would cover it up, you couldn't even see the gold to suck it up. So, but that's what we do. And
that is so cool.
I might take that up. I think it is too. Like I said, I'd never heard of it 3 months ago, and I'm hooked now. So, plus it's gold. You know, it's cool that
Who don't like gold?
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't like gold? Who doesn't want to play with gold? So, and then what we do is once that's all done, you take your snuffer bottle and you dump it out in your pan, and you got to rinse it out good because it'll want to trap some gold in there too, especially this fine gold. And see, it's still some in there. You rinse it out real good. And then what you do is when you tap your pan, it walks all your gold kind of together in a bunch. And then when you do a little wash around like that, you can see right there we've got a bunch of real fine string gold.
That is so
And see, it's called wire gold because, see, they're all little wire pieces that formed in the formation rather than in chunks or nuggets. So that's what makes this stuff rare. So then you go back through with your bottle and suck it out numerous times until you've got all that sand and stuff out of it and get it clean. And then you weigh it and see what you got. So
that's a good hobby.
It's a fun hobby, isn't it? Well, thank you for joining me as my first guest on the channel.
Thank you for having me. I was nosy. I had to see.
Well, I would too.
Thank you.
Sure thing. That's fun. It's always fun to introduce somebody to this. It doesn't know what the hell you're talking about, and I described it to her on the other side of the fence here, and at least they know it's not just some crazy guy over here talking to himself playing in the water. which is what it sounds like most of the time if you don't know what's going on. So all right, well, I'm going to now the hard part begins, going back through the all this stuff and find all these little tiny flakes that I'm sure have probably a few of them have gotten past me on this one, just because like that, once that little bit of water covers it up, you just don't see it anymore. So the rains held off. A few drops were coming and it passed on, so hopefully I'll have opportunity to. So that's cool. We got some out of that last classification. Oh, I didn't realize I was still zoomed in all that. That was probably bad video. So now I've classified back. I mean, I've got my my slurry here that I kept separate. I've got the first batch of rocks that I had that I kept separate, and so it should be a little. And then I've got my yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go back through all of this, re-clean my stuff, and try to get a total on this, and then of course, but like I said, you can just see that everything's covered with red sand dust and the slurry, and it is a total mess. But that's the fun. This is the ultimate adult playing in the mud, I guess you'd say. So, all right, we're back. Well, I have to say the term fine-tooth comb does not do this justice. I went back through all my tailings very thoroughly, meticulously, and
I ended up, I had on my first pan, I found actually a little chunk and a tiny wire. And I'm thinking, oh hell, I'm gonna be seeing this all through. And that was all I found. Everything else was perfectly clean. So, yeah, I was real happy with my recovery on that. That was good. So I'm going to dry this up and get a weight on it. But yeah, I mean, just looking at it like that through this in the wet water, it looks like something really different. So I'm gonna see if I can pick out a few more of these there's a few little grains in there, but not much. There was really no black sand in this to speak of. So yeah, it was a challenge to go back through it just as much as it was actually more so than the first time, because of course that's the one time you don't want to find gold is when you're repanning. So all right, I'm going to dry it up and see what we got. All right, I'm down to I've got it all in the pan here now. So I'm going to take this in and dry it up. But I mean, just look at just look at this place. It's everything's covered with red mud and slurry dust, and I mean, all this stuff on here is just where it ran over. I mean, that's, you know, just silt where it ran over the pan carrying color. There's no gold. I rinsed off one batch of it into a pan just to check and make sure nothing was in it, and it's just the fine silt that washed over the top of these pans is washing this stuff out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pull all this and just take a hose and a rag to scrub it up the station here when we get done, because this stuff made a mess. So anyway, let's go weigh it up and see if it was worth it. I can't even see the thing on my camera anymore because it's covered in dust. So all right, slurry. All right, got our wire gold dried up. I mean, look at that. I've got I'm covered in red clay just like everything else. I swear, this stuff is something else. Let's see if we're measuring our 0.26 like it's supposed to. Yes, it is 0.26. All right, we'll zero that out. Let's transfer our gold to our paper here. Cleaned out pretty good. Let's see what we got from our GOLDBAY Wire Gold Rare Red Clay bag. Huh, well that's a little low, because I mean, I went through my tailings thoroughly, and that's the first time I've gotten below the guarantee. So I mean, it's within a tenth. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's I'm positive that I did not leave anything behind. Definitely not. Let's see, that's still juking around. Let's reset it and try it one more time just to make sure. I mean, I expected it, since it was this kind of gold, not to be like a 1.10. I was figuring 1.05 or a 1.03 or something like that. Let's see, it's still, this piece of paper should always weigh 0.26. Because that's what it weighs. I had some issue with these scales before. Like I said, this is not, and that zeroes out. See, it's showing minus 2.6 on there like it's supposed to, and that's 0. That's what we first came up with, 0.96. Between 9.6 and 9.7, we'll hold that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to call that 0.97. Yeah, that's what we've got. So, well, geez, I'm a little disappointed on that since it's $99 for a gram guarantee. I expect to get the gram. These little pieces wanna, but yeah, we've got, that's definitely some wire gold. So it's I mean, this camera doesn't really do it justice as far as they say the best way to look at this is through a loop, and I got a loop, but I got a 40 magnification, and my buddy who's the jeweler was over looking at the stuff through it, and he's like, no man, usually we use like 10 magnification or 20. It really makes it hard to see with the one that I got. So but yeah, I mean, you can't really see the detail of the wire, but you can tell that is a different kind of dirt, and that's even still got a few little chunks of stuff in it that might drop it down another 100th, like that right there. That piece is not, those two pieces are not gold. I mean, they're weightless, but so yeah, I mean, it was fun to do. It was definitely a challenge, and some cool gold, but I expect a 1.01, 1.02, not less than a gram, and it's settling out at 0.96. So with those little pieces that I just took out of there, that's what we're going to go with. So let me add up and see what it comes out to. And again, I mean, it's hundredths, 300ths of a gram, so it's really just kind of the idea that it's not the full thing, but all right. Well, all right, I did up my numbers on my wire gold here, and at 0.96 grams comes out to $57.53 for the date that I bought it on, 6/13/21, at $1,864 an ounce, or basically $60 a gram. But again, this is wire gold, so it comes with a premium on it, so you can add 10 or 15 at least percent onto the value of it if you're wanting to to sell it. So I knew it comes to a 58% ROI, which is not terrible, but for GOLDBAY, that's not your usual ROI you're going to get, but I wasn't expecting to whenever I'm paying $100 for a 1 gram minimum bag. So said it came out to 0.96, which again, for GOLDBAY, that's the first time I've seen it come out below the guaranteed amount. So I mean, I'm not going to sweat over 4.0 of a gram, and I'm going to go back through my tailings thoroughly again and make sure that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to find 0.04 of a gram in there, but I will check it again. But like I said, I wasn't expecting, I knew this was going to kill my ROIs on this, and that's why kind of my videos are about, is getting gold from places where you can actually get, you know, ROIs comparable to what you would pay investing for gold straight out, but having gold in this placer form that actually has a different value to it than your common, you know, run-of-the-mill gold. You know, but like that right there, that's a cool. This is as close as I could get with this camera, but that's a cool piece of wire gold right there. And then this piece right here is actually a roped. It has like a you know, look like a rope wrapping texture around it. There's a piece up here that looks like it's a you know, roots off of a plant where it branches out with these little tiny fingers. So I was looking at it through my loop, which, like I said, it's a 40 power, so it zooms in extremely tight. But yeah, the detail on this stuff, I wish I could get a picture of it. You really need a macro lens to photograph this stuff, I'm sure. But yeah, just showing it like this though gives you an idea of what, you know, this toothpick is huge there in it. And there's some of these pieces that actually have ore as part of the filament still in them, where they're so, you know, they're just so fine and fingling that they're still wrapped around some of the black ore that is in there, which, like I said, with the loop you could make it out. And if they were large size, they'd really be cool specimen pieces. So that's it on the basic what my GOLDBAY wire gold looks like. So I have to say it's been a really fun 4th of July. I thank everyone who joined me on checking out this Bayou Gold. It's Bayou Gold now, but this GOLDBAY rare wire gold. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed that it didn't make it all the way to the, you know, the minimum for GOLDBAY, but I'm not sweating it out. I wish I had gotten the 2 grams when I ordered it, just so it'd look a little cooler having more gold, more of that gold, and I'm sure maybe I would have gotten a little better return on it. I don't know. But like I said, I've got videos that I'm going to do that aren't all about the ROI. It's about checking out different kinds of gold as well. So again, happy 4th of July to everyone. I've moved into the martini hour. I've been doing this for so long now. And still have to go back through the pan one more time and pan that stuff through. So I got another 40 minutes to go. So it's been a rich, full day of this second GOLDBAY video I'm doing for I guess it was a GOLDBAY 4th of July. So I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed seeing something different as far as gold goes. And have a wonderful rest of your 4th of July, and I'll see you in the next round. Peace out.